I didn't lose my marriage during my wife's birthday toast. I lost it before anyone lifted a glass. The real moment happened 10 minutes earlier in a narrow hallway outside a private dining room when my wife looked at me, not angrily, not emotionally, and said, "Tonight isn't about you. Just smile." I smiled. I always did. That was my mistake. Before we go any further, if you enjoy real stories about loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of being taken for granted, subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment. I read them. And trust me, this story goes places you won't expect. My name is Michael Carter. I'm a financial architect. That's a polished way of saying I design money, so it works harder than people do. For over 15 years, that's exactly what I did, not just for clients, but for my family. Quietly, reliably, without applause. I met my wife, Laura, when I was already established. She had a 6-year-old daughter, Ashley, bright, polite, careful around adults. I told myself that was maturity. It wasn't. It was distance. I ignored it because love makes you optimistic and money makes you useful. I paid for everything. Schools, tutors, trips, medical bills, summer programs that cost more than my first car. I never threw it in anyone's face. I believed real providers don't keep score. Ashley turned 21 that night. Laura wanted it to be unforgettable, so I made it unforgettable. I sat in my car for a moment, not to calm down, to think. By the time I drove home, 3 lists had already formed in my head. Assets, accounts, obligations. They wanted me gone. I smiled, because disappearing doesn't mean leaving nothing behind. Sometimes it means taking everything that was never theirs to begin with. I didn't go to bed that night. I went to work. The house was silent when I walked in. The coats were gone, shoes missing, laughter absent. I didn't wonder where they were. It didn't matter. For the first time in 15 years, I wasn't reacting. I was deciding. I poured a glass of water, rolled up my sleeves, and sat at my home office desk. The same one where I'd planned retirements for strangers while quietly funding a life where my role had been reduced to background noise. I didn't feel angry. That surprised me. What I felt was focus. I pulled files methodically. Bank statements, trust documents, property deeds, lease agreements, investment accounts. Every automatic payment I'd set up and then forgotten because no one ever said thank you. By midnight, my desk looked like a legal library had exploded. By 3 a.m., patterns emerged. By sunrise, clarity. I had built everything carefully, separately, generously, but not carelessly. You don't protect yourself this well by accident. At 6 a.m., I made one call. "David," I said when my attorney answered, voice still rough with sleep. "I need to execute several clauses today, before noon." He didn't ask why. I reserved the entire private dining room at Cascara, the kind of restaurant where nothing has prices and no one asks questions. 50 guests, her friends from college, Laura's family, a few of my business associates, crystal glasses, sculpted food, wine poured like a ceremony, 5 figures before dessert. I didn't blink. The room buzzed with laughter, phones out, smiles wide. The kind of night people convince themselves proves they're happy. Then the toast happened. Ashley stood up, calm and confident, holding her glass like she'd practiced this moment. The room fell quiet. People leaned in, expecting something heartfelt. She smiled, but not at me. "Now that I'm officially an adult," she said, "I think I'm finally allowed to say what I really want." Something tightened in my chest. Not fear, recognition. "My perfect birthday wish," she continued, "is that Michael would no longer be part of our family. Not less involved. Not space. Gone," she added, "so my mom and I can finally live without interference." Silence. No clinking glasses. No nervous laughter. 50 people suddenly very interested in the tablecloths. I looked at Laura. This was the moment. The one where a wife laughs it off, corrects the room, protects her marriage. She didn't. She nodded. Slowly. Deliberately. Then she placed her hand over Ashley's and said, "Sweetheart, you deserve a perfect day." That nod didn't hurt. It clarified. I didn't raise my voice. Didn't argue. Didn't embarrass anyone. I stood, removed my credit card, placed it beside the nearest waiter, and said, "This covers everything, including gratuity." Then I walked out. No speech, no drama, just the sound of my shoes on marble and the weight of 15 years lifting all at once. "You sure?" he asked. I thought about Laura's nod, Ashley's calm smile. 50 people watching me become invisible. I've never been more certain. The process unfolded like machinery, indifferent to tears or excuses. Accounts were separated. Payments stopped. Leases terminated. Card canceled. The house, mine before marriage, was listed. Not out of cruelty, out of finality. The call started by afternoon. "Ashley first." "What did you do?" she snapped. "I did exactly what you asked," I said calmly. The university housing payment was gone. The car lease canceled. Months passed. Life didn't announce it was getting better. It simply stopped being heavy. The house sold. Clean deal. Fast close. Ashley left university. Laura got her first job in over a decade. I ran every morning. Lost weight. Bought a camera. Learned to see things that didn't need permission to exist. I made friends who didn't need anything from me. One evening, standing on the deck as the sun bled into the ocean, I realized something simple. No one had asked how I was. Not once. And for the first time, that didn't hurt. It settled. Because freedom isn't about who leaves. It's about who stops carrying weight that was never shared. They got what they asked for. So did I. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever been reduced to what you provide instead of who you are, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I read them. Sometimes walking away isn't the end of a story. It's the moment it finally becomes yours.